lights out, and away we go. And the home hero, Chris Boy, gets a decent launch off the line. And then through this first turn they go. It's a battle between Alpine, Aston Martin, the Ferrari, and the McLaren. So really the top four are battling for the lead in these opening stages. And that's now Tauri, I think, in the back, getting a little bit of a bump. But let's see, with interesting strategies here of drivers on softs, mediums, and then we have another Red Bull that's Spirocious on the hards. I think that's the driver going pretty wide there. But your top four, as it stands, Chris Boy then for Alpine leading in his home race, and then it is Hios in the Ferrari car holding on to P1 for his team. Lordmaster in that McLaren will try and look for another podium, and then Red Jelly will try to do everything he can to score decent points and get that keep that decent spot on his drivers, but I don't think he has to worry about that all too much. As then we have Red Jelly is actually falling back a little bit, but this might be planned as Sinks and Keith are wheel to wheel. As anything can happen in this race. It's some port, there are bumps, and I think that's Keith hitting the wall there, which really compromises exit speed. Let's see here, HVSK in that Aston Martin, joining last minute up to into P7, and that is an Alpine, and that is another car. When just spun there on that turn 7 corner. It's tricky. It's a really tricky corner. If you spin out there, you lose so much time, and some people even DNF, but oh damn. Yeah, it's chaos already. We have not finished the second lap, and already we've had a lot of drama here. But into this lap, into lap 3 of the race, a lot of things can happen still, but it's still leading from the pack. 1.7 seconds from Lord. Leaderboards should be updating later, as Red Jelly still holding on. He also has fallen back actually, and Sinks and Speed are hoping to make amends for their poor start and try and catch up to this top guy. Everyone here actually, except for Chris, because Chris right now is chilling in that lead position, but the moment he makes a huge mistake, yeah, then it's going to be over as he goes a little bit wide, but keeps it within track limits, as the top 4 then are have a decent gap to each other. So it's a little bit of a train at the moment between these guys, and Speed and HVSK are comfortably behind. Spirocious on those hards is then ahead of Keith. Keith going to try and make up the time he's lost in his opening laps, basically, after that spin. And Singson, having suffered the same, he will do the same as well, as Chris then loses time to Lord on that lap. So maybe Lord has stepped up, or Chris has made a mistake, as the rear of his car is getting mounted up by the bumps. It's really aggressive, these bumps lately, as Lord gains time again to Chris. So it's all to play for, and Lord gets a huge bump on that uphill of turn 6, but he keeps it pointing in the right direction, luckily. And that corner has caught drivers off guard in the past. So let's see here, as Hios and Red Jelly are fighting for that final podium place, and Speed is not too far off, I should say, as then Keith on those soft tires going to try and get it out of HVSK. Takes a better line through that corner, and around the outside he goes. He should be comfortably through with those faster soft tires, but he must have gone the bump, and HVSK is back ahead, and we'll tune back to see how they've been doing. back to the leaders then. Lord takes it away from Chris, but Chris takes an inside line and takes it back. So maybe Chris made a little bit of a mistake on that last lap, and he must have missed it. Oh, Chris then, and as he spins out, and he's going to lose P2 then to Hios. Yeah, he's going to lose P2, and now it is Lord in the McLaren leading the Dutch Grand Prix, and this is what he always exactly what he wanted. Was a little bit on the back foot in the opening laps, but what's great about Lord is not necessarily his pace. It is a factor, but it is his consistency what puts him ahead of the field. And it is such a joy to watch, as then Red Jelly is still down P4 after that mistake, which is really which does not correlate with his previous results. So justifiably, that's a yellow in the third sector. Will there be a safety car? Not sure, but let's see here. Hios is still leading. Lord takes back that P2 position from Red Jelly, so it doesn't look to be Red Jelly's day, although he is on the podium. He's being outdriven by these other guys. And let's see here, as Keith then, I think he had a little bit of a spin, Keith. That is not ideal for him. The leaderboard does say he has a 3-second gap to HVSK, but that it doesn't look like it, as Pocanaldo then gets DRS from HVSK, and we should be going into this. Yeah, this is the 13th lap of this race, so we're about halfway through, just about. We haven't reached halfway there yet, as he just as his car gets shot up, and it's going to lose a little bit of time. Lord is closing in on Hios, so putting pressure, and Red Jelly is not too far behind. So let's see here, as HVSK is, I saw him go very wide, but Spy Roaches, the hard tire has not worked for him in his opening stages, as he is already almost half a minute behind. And as Pocanaldo then comes into the pits to go onto the medium tire. So let's see here, how does it play out for him? He's going in the back foot, lost a lot of time to everyone behind, to everyone ahead. But we'll try to make up for it, as Spyros just then presumably makes a big mistake. So Keith then gets a little bit of a snap, but keeps it pointing in the right direction, and he will try and hold on to that top 5 place, as then now we have Hios losing time again to Lord. So will we see a change of lead here, at least at the end of this lap, as I leave spectator mode again. Hios onto the grass. That has been his approach for the big majority of the race to all these corners. Lord also taking a little bit here, and Red Jelly is not too far behind, so this top 3 really fighting it out for the lead. And the leader is Hios, but will that change next lap, because Lord has been gaining on him as he gets a little bit of a snap and goes wide on the entry, but doesn't lose too much from it, I think. But Red Jelly has again lost out to this top 2. Speed presumably got a bump, and it gets sent into the wall, and that is it's gonna hurt your exit coming out of that corner to try. Oh, Nucleo in the Red Bull crashes out into that tire barrier and is now out of the race. Really unfortunate for him. He despawns his car pretty much immediately, as that Jelly goes wide again in that turn 7. But yeah, that corner has caught a lot of drivers, and it is not over yet. Anything can still happen in this race. Let's see here. That is right. But Chris is 2 laps down, so he will need someone else to DNF if he still wants to score 1 point. Let's see here, as Chris actually has the fastest lap still, with a 1 of 5.0. I don't think that's going to be beaten. That's really an insane fastest lap to have, although being on the soft tire. But let's see here, Red Jelly has lost a second to the top 2. So this is not looking to be his day, as he again loses lots of time. And goes it takes a decent amount of inside on the turn turn 7 I should say, and then Lord making use of all the exit to try and close up to Hios, because he's losing it once again, as Hios is speed, which is something Speed will not be happy about when he watches back this race. But Poconaldo's up into P5 then. So I feel like Spyroches, I think, went into the pits. That's what I'm assuming from his positioning in turn 2. Did he pit? It looks like he did, unless he spun out, had to recover. Sinks is behind him. But let's see here, as Hios then comes out of the pit lane, and Red Jelly also coming in, and Red Jelly is well behind. Speed could somehow still take this podium position from Red Jelly if Red Jelly keeps making mistakes, but after that pit stop phase, Lord has not gained a lot actually, and is still behind Hios, and this is not working out for him, because Hios will now have 1 lap fresher tires on Lord. That is quite a decent advantage to have. Not a really big advantage, but it's quite a decent advantage to have in this game. As then Spyroches again on the very inside line in turn 2, so probably spun out. I don't think he did, but let's see here, as Chris is a P9 now, after HSK's retirement in the pit lane. And it's still all to play for, anything can still happen. Poconaldo's actually only 2 seconds behind Speed, but I think he has made a pit stop, Poconaldo. I'm not sure if he's starting with softs or mediums. We're gonna have to ask him later, or watch it back. But let's see here. Top 3, oh, Red Jelly's car launching up a little bit, but keeps it burning. As Speed for Rage on the soft tires, and this is where they'll try to take the fastest lap from Chris. But crucially, Chris will have an advantage because he is really far down, and he could go for multiple fastest lap attempts, whereas Hios and Lord and Red Jelly only have a few shots at it in Speed, because consider tire wear and that's Red Jelly going super wide, does not hit the tire barrier luckily, because that takes off the tires. But yeah, super wide once again, must have gone a bump and couldn't save it very much. But let's see here, as after the pit stop phase, not much has really changed, as we see Hios again taking a lot of grass. Lord doesn't, and he will get a better exit out of that turn, I should presume. Lap 25 now, but Lord does gain 1 attempt, so maybe he was using his ERS and then taking, using some exits. As Red Jelly then is the next person to be having to get ahead of Sinks, who had a terrible incident and had to lose out. So let's see here, Sinks. There was a bump on that little, on turn 6, I think it is. So not a lot of activity so far. I was definitely hoping. Other than yes, it definitely is. I also would have been up there if not for the fact that I went turned on the magic button. Let's see here. The gap is now 0.3. So Lord has now finally decided to take it up a notch and is actually taking the lead. That might look like it. So Lord has now finally taken up. He is still maintaining that lead as he takes an outside line. Goes, almost goes wide there. And Lord he's so close. This is amazing scenes here on the last lap. And this is the corner where Lord lost the win in FRS, where I beat him by a 10th, I believe. Let's see here. Last lap, and will Lord repeat the FRS or will actually take the win here at Zone 4? Hios built the gap to 6/10. So Lord, taking grass. And it's another lift from the car as we are entering Sector 2 now, and they will be going. We'll be taking turn 7 for the last time this race. How will it be? How does it go for the drivers? Pretty smooth, and they will go unscathed going into the third sector. It's all to play for in this last sector now, as Lord takes him inside. Will get the DRS. He also gets the DRS, so that's not helping Lord, as the gap's now 0.8. Will he take the win here? It's all about this last corner, and that is it. He takes the win, as he will cross the line on the main straight. Hios for Ferrari wins the Dutch Grand Prix ahead of Lord, and Lord has done FRS, loses the win on those last laps. Red Kelly then finishes third for Aston Martin. Amazing scenes. Speed then in that other McLaren will finish P4